김남준, 김석진, 민윤기, 정호석, 박지민, 김태형, 전정국, BTS. 안녕하세요. 저는 무라고 합니다. 저는 책을 읽는 거 좋아하는 대학생이고 너한테 그 사랑은 공유하려고 여기에요. 저는 지금은 워싱턴 대학교에서 한국어를 배우고 있지만 아직 잘 못해서 지금부터 영어를 배우려고 해요. Hello. I don't speak fluent Korean yet. I'm working on it, as you can hopefully tell, but I am just a student right now learning Korean. I am applying to study abroad at Yonsei University in the summer, but for now I am just an American college student studying Korean in America. Now, if you didn't know this about me, I like BTS. You see right up here? There's BTS. This is a photo right here of me at the BTS concert. I will show it to you guys because I really don't have enough shame. But yeah, I'm gonna put my 14-year-old self on the internet. Ooh. I'm not looking at that. But you know what? If you can say anything about this girlie, about that girlie right there, you can say she was excited, you could say she was passionate, and you know what? I'm still super passionate about BTS. So 6 years later and we're still going strong. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. I'm proud of myself for being so dedicated. The hat isn't working like I wanted it to. I look like a fisherman, which you know what? Jin would like, but the rest of the viewers, I don't know if fisherman is the vibe right now. So I don't feel like I need to prove the fact that I am a BTS fan. However, I am a collector. I, of course, do not think that your worth as a fan is tied to how much money you buy, because that is just a capitalistic take, and I do not want to be part of the machine in that way, you know? Like, we're all part of the machine. It's you kind of have to be. And listen, we're all going to participate in capitalism, but what I am not going to do is shame people for not being able to participate in capitalism as hard as other people, because that's just crazy. However, I am really proud of my collection, and I have shelled out so much money to Big Hit and to BTS. I have definitely paid for at least one of their articles of clothing. We're getting close to paying for their whole house, I swear. At least one of them. My bank account, not owned by me. That is owned by BTS. It is owned by BTS. BTS and thrift books, my two loves. I need to stop this, oh my god. However, we are going to see a tour. Here's that tour now. What's up guys, it's Mel. I'm gonna show you my BTS room. Okay, so this right here is really the main event. This is like my collector's magnum opus. Like, we have Too Cool for School over here. I don't have all the Japanese CDs, but I do have some, and I want to keep going and getting them all, you know. I have, you know, some of the Japanese albums. Like, here's some albums right here, but I have all of the Korean albums. I absolutely adore them. This is about when I became a fan. My first album was this one right here, Love Yourself V. Oh, so good. I got that one, and then I got Wings version I next, and then I have no idea after that, but I do have them all. I've collected them all since then, and I'm just really proud of them. I also have all the solo albums. Here's all of the albums up till Layover in chronological order, and then here's Proof and a music box. I was a member. I had the membership for a little while where that included the merch boxes, but I don't have that anymore because I'm a college student that needs to save money. But here's Golden and Muse, and my pride and joy. I have version 1, 2, and 3 of the Army Bombs. I found version 1 and 2 for a really good deal online, and I just got so excited, so I just snatched them up, and I have 1, 2, and 3. I need to buy 4, but you know, since it's still available in the shop, I don't exactly feel super incentivized to grab it up right now, but if I know it's going away, I'm definitely going to be grabbing it. Next, we have all of the CDs and stuff. You know, they're not all in order, as you can see, you know, like Memories of 2019 and are after, you know, Map of the Soul 1, which was in the 2020s. But, you know, here's a bunch of photo books and stuff. The Us, Ourselves, We, that was one of my favorite series, all of those photo books. I have more of the solo albums because they were too tall to fit over there. So Hope on the Street, Right Place, Wrong Person, and Happy. As of now, Happy is the latest album to come out. But, you know, once one of them releases new music, I will obviously grab that up. Right here is kind of my toy shelf. As you can see, I have a lot of Funko Pops. I have the Mattel dolls. I have just all of the Funko Pops. I also have the Lego set. I wanted a BTS Lego set for so long, and I finally gave us one. But yeah, here's the Butter series. And me. I'm gonna blur out my name, but there it is. I have all the cassettes. I love the cassettes so much. They're just gorgeous. Here's the Love Yourself set. The Mattel dolls, which I will pop in a photo of me laughing at them when I was 14 years old at the LA pop-up shop because, oh my gosh, they're just so goofy looking, but I love them. This was before Tiny Tan. They're just these little guys. They're so cute. Here's BT21. And here's the Dynamite series. Here's me at Rose Bowl. That was just the best day of my life, I swear. I went to Rose Bowl day 2 on May 5th, 2019. And then my dad made this for me. It has the boarding pass too, but I'm not gonna include that. But there's the floor band, the physical ticket. I don't even know if they do that anymore, but oh, my dad surprised me with them. Well, both my parents did, and my dad took me, and it was just the best day ever. So there's Jimin and Jungkook because they're my 2 favorites. I also have lots of posters. The light is killing it, but this is one of my favorite posters. I have these from B. I have Proof and Butter. Oh, Are You Late Too? I just got this little thing from a birthday. And then up here, I have another membership box poster. My arms are so short. Oh my goodness, this is so close to my face. I'm also going to add right here all of the merch that I have. I'll see if I can find photos of all of like me wearing all of the outfits that I have gotten over time because oh my gosh, I have pledged my allegiance to BTS and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So yeah, there goes a tour. I hope you liked it. And back to regular scheduled book review. The amount of blood, sweat, and tears I put into that collection. My pitam number. I'm just, you know, Marie Kondo says if it brings you joy, keep it. Man, collecting brings me joy. I will say that I do feel very fortunate that I am able to have all these amazing things. Do I make the best financial decisions when it comes to BTS? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. However, I feel blessed that I can make those poor financial decisions. So if you cannot afford albums or anything like that, I really hope that you do not feel bad. I understand the appeal, obviously, and I, of course, encourage, if it is something that you can afford and you want to do, I say do it. I say do what makes you happy. However, I never want anyone to get the idea that not spending money on albums makes you any less of a fan, you know? Whether it is that you can't afford them or you just don't want to buy the physical albums, that doesn't make you less of an ARMY. And I just want you guys to make sure that you know that. I've just been collecting since December 2017. It's been 7 years. Oh my gosh. And this is what I came with. And you know, it still brings me joy and I don't regret a single purchase. So I say if you'd like to, go for it. I say if you can afford it and you'd like to, go for it. I say if you can't afford it, that is okay. And I do hope that there is a day that you can. Because if it is something that you really want, I do really hope that you can share that joy. So anyways, we are not here to talk about BTS merch. We are here to talk about BTS Beyond the Story. Ugh. It was everything I ever hoped of. I have wanted a BTS book for so long. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how much I wanted a BTS book. When I heard that they were releasing this book, I was on the floor. I could not believe it. I was so excited. I bought it right away. I don't usually buy books new, but for BTS, like, I will snatch that book up so fast. I think that it was really cool that they did it on their 10-year anniversary. I think that it was definitely a good idea on their part, and I am very, 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 very happy to have read it all. I was actually leaving for a trip on the day that my book came, and I was just like so distraught because I was like, I wanted to read it on vacation. I wanted to have something to do. And I kid you not, as we were loading our suitcases into the trunk, the postwoman came up the stairs and I ran and I went, thank you! And I ran back inside and my parents had to apologize for me. And hey, listen, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now, before we get into the whole book, let us read the summary. The first ever official book, published in celebration of BTS's 10th anniversary. Stories that go beyond what you already know about BTS. The first official record of BTS and their youth, the most beautiful moment in life. Written over 3 years of in-depth coverage and interviews by Myung-Sok Kang, BTS shares personal behind-the-scenes stories of their journey so far. You know, I know a lot of celebrities, they release memoirs, and a lot of them, as they should. You know, they've had a very interesting life. They deserve to talk about it, you know? I'm of the mindset of getting that bag, and do they already have a huge bag? Yeah. But for the most part, I think that memoirs are just fine and dandy. I'm sure there's an audience that would read almost anything by their favorite celebrity. However, I do think that BTS in particular have a compelling story, and I am so glad that they put it into words. I am so glad that they felt that they were able to tell us all the things that were happening to them. There were things that I, even as a crazy obsessed ARMY for 7 years, didn't know the full extent of, and I think that if you're even a little bit of a fan of BTS, that you should read this book because it is just fantastic, and I think that it will grow your love and respect for BTS even more, because if you don't know who BTS is, I will just give you a quick rundown. I could talk about them for 7 hours at least one for each member. Are you joking? But probably forever after that. However, I will give a brief synopsis just for people who don't know BTS that well, because I do think BTS are quite infamous now. I do think most people know about BTS, but I'll just tell you the quick story of their life in the spotlight from 2013 to now. So BTS, 방탄소년단, debuted on June 13th, 2013. They looked like this. I know. They had a very different vibe than they do now. But they debuted in June 2013, and they came from a broke company. Like, this was a company that only had 30 employees in the entire music company, and that's really crazy to think about because HYBE is one of the largest music corporations in Korea right now, but they started out with nothing. It's really an underdog story. They started getting really big in 2015 is when they kind of started getting recognized in South Korea, but the big three, JYP, SM, and YG, kind of have a monopoly on the media regarding the K-pop industry, so they really tried to suppress articles about BTS's success and that kind of thing. They really were fighting against the Titans, but they still just completely blew up. It was miraculous. It was talent and skill and yeah, a little bit of luck, but they definitely wouldn't have gotten to where they are now if it weren't for the fact of who they were as people and their talent and their concepts and their ability to dig deep into philosophical issues regarding the youth, teens and youth. That's kind of where they got their first big boost of fame, is when they started talking about the most beautiful moment in life and the struggles that teenagers and young adults go through regarding love and struggles with capitalism and the job industry and loneliness and just all of these issues that young adults go through. They really came forward in an empathetic lens and connected with a lot of people worldwide. So even despite being pushed back on by the Korean media industry, they still prevailed. They still got really big. And then in 2017, they got really big in the US. They kind of exploded in the US, and they were invited to the Billboard Music Awards that summer. And from then on, the US was just obsessed with BTS. It was this big boom. They started breaking record after record after record after record. You know, they just were on a roll. Right now, they are the most awarded musical artist in history with over 1,400 awards. Not a Grammy. But you know what? I don't care about what old white men think about BTS because they have impacted a ton of people and they don't need a Grammy. If they want one though, I do support them in that, but I do really hope that they get that Grammy and they stop thinking about the Grammys because I'm so sick of them. But back to the timeline, they just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it really messed with their heads. They really struggled with it. They didn't think that they would ever get to this level of fame, and they actually got so stressed out with it. They debated disbanding in 2018, but luckily they did not, and they went on to continue to have a thriving career. They are partners with UN. They are UN ambassadors, United Nations ambassadors. They've spoken at the United Nations plenty of times. They've spoken at the White House and in government buildings in South Korea. They're very involved in multiple governments across the world. They preach a message of loving yourself and just other good morals to go off on. They really present themselves as genuine, kind people. And of course, we don't know them. I'm not going to say that I know BTS and I know that 100% they are good people, but I can see a genuineness behind them. And based on what everybody has said when they have interacted with BTS, be it, music industry staff or other celebrities or anything like that, they all only have good things to say about BTS. So I just feel very proud as a fan that I have found a group who has fantastic music. You can truly find anything. I am of the belief that everyone can find a song by BTS they like because they just have so many different genres, and I'm just very proud to be a fan. So when they gave me a book to give me an excuse to talk about them on my book YouTube channel, absolutely over the moon. Oh, it was so fantastic. It was really like a timeline of their careers in extreme depth. It's over 500 pages, but I think every page is remarkable. I think every page is worth reading. It's incredibly aesthetic too. They also have posters of them. Here is Love Yourself Tear, which I am actually looking at on my wall right now. It's very aesthetic, They will have a list of the albums as they are relevant to the story and each track on the album. They actually have QR codes at the bottom of a lot of pages that will link to different performances and music videos and dance practices and interviews and the like. And I think that's really cool. It's an incredibly interactive book, and I just think it was very smartly done. So the formatting of the book, there's an overall narrator, Kang Myung-sok, and they're basically the one telling the story, but it's spliced in with things that each member of BTS has said. They obviously went through hours of interviews and they worked really hard on this. It's really pretty obvious, and you can really hear the voice of each BTS member on the page. Now granted, I read it in English, so I didn't get to hear as much, but I am so hoping that in the next couple years I'm fluent in Korean so that I can read the book in Korean and hear the things that they said word for word and understand it on a deeper level. So the fact that even translating it to English, though, that you could hear their voices on the page, like, that was so cool to me. It was really nice being able to hear BTS and their thoughts and opinions on their career, and they said things over the past couple years that like were kind of a clue into how they were feeling about different times during their careers. However, it went so in depth in this book, and I thought that just was so nice. Like, I did feel very fortunate that they felt like they could share their struggles with us, because BTS do a really good job at sharing what they're struggling with without coming off as like whiny or ungrateful or anything like that. Because like, I'm not saying that like other celebrities are ungrateful or that kind of thing, but I also know there are a couple celebrities that are like, my life is so hard, all this money. I actually don't have anyone that comes to mind right now. However, I know that those celebrities do unfortunately exist, and BTS are not like that. So I think that it's just amazing being able to hear their struggles through this lens. I think that listening to their music is an even better way to do so. Like, I think that Wildflower by Namjoon and Amygdala by Yoongi are an incredibly beautiful way that two of the members of BTS have shared their struggle through music. However, I do think that this book is also fantastic and has helped us look into the lens of BTS and understand things from their perspective. Because I know for me personally, it's really crazy to know that while I was getting really into BTS and while I was just in my obsessive era, like, oh, you wouldn't have wanted to be friends with me when I was in middle school because all I would talk about was BTS. I'm serious. I am so serious. There's a reason why I don't have friends that I had in middle school. But it's crazy to think of when I was in that phase, BTS were struggling so hard and were considering disbanding. So it just gives a lot of perspective, and that is just, it's fantastic. I also was actually really surprised to hear that Dark and Wild didn't do very well. From the first 2 years of BTS's career, Dark and Wild was definitely my favorite album from 2013 and 2014. So it was really surprising to me that it didn't do very well, because oh my gosh, Let Me Know, like one of my favorite songs by BTS. And then another one from that era was Tomorrow. Oh, Tomorrow and Let Me Know, like queens, so good. I also am the #1 Lost fan, and you can say, oh no, like a lot of people like Lost by BTS. No, that is my song. I am so confident that I am the #1 fan of Lost by BTS that I would go up to any one of the 4 vocalists, because it is only a vocalist song, it's not all 7 of them, and I could say with full confidence, hey, Jimin, Jungkook, Jin, Taeyang, one of you, could you sign this paper saying that I am the #1 fan of Lost by BTS? And you know what? I think I could get them to sign it. Fight me. Please don't actually fight me. Like, armies are supposed to be nice to each other. I know that we are very notorious in the K-pop fandoms for being rude or whatever, but around the world, we're known as one of the kindest, most philanthropic, most passionate fans out there. So you know what? I don't know. I know so many fantastic armies, especially the ones I meet in real life are just so fantastic. You know, some of my closest friends are actually friends that I made online, and I have 8 friends that I talk to all the time, and all of them are armies, and it brings people together. BTS's music brings people together, and it makes me feel so good knowing that even though they struggled, and even though they don't understand to an extent why they have the fame they do, which I think is crazy. I get so mad sometimes because BTS are just like, I don't get why we're as famous as we are. And I'm just like, be confident in your abilities, please. Like, I get so mad when they demean themselves like that. Like, it's so frustrating to me. Frustrating? That they talk so humbly, and like, I guess I shouldn't be that mad because it's like, wow, that's crazy. I follow such a humble celebrity, and I know it's also a bit of a cultural thing. However, sometimes I just want to grab them by the shoulders and say, just accept your success. Just accept that you earned that, you know? Like, I just could talk forever about how they have beyond earned the success that they've been given, and I will not do that to you guys because I feel like that would just be kind of annoying. And, you know, if you are an army, I'm sure you agree with me, so I would yap in the comments. If you are gonna talk in the comments, I will talk to you back. Like, I will yap in the comments. However, I probably shouldn't get into it too much here. Overall, I recommend this book to everyone. And you know what? That may be a little bit biased. I may be a little bit biased. Like, I understand that this book may bring a little more value to me than it does to someone who is just a casual fan of BTS or someone who isn't a fan of BTS. However, I want you to appreciate BTS. And I think if you are at all interested in BTS, that this book will just deepen your appreciation and respect for BTS. So if you are at all interested in BTS at all, I do think that you should read this book. If you're an army and you haven't read this book, I understand not everyone is a reader. I do understand that. However, if you are an army and you haven't read this book, girly, what are you doing? Read the book. But yeah, that is all that I have for today. If you liked this video, please like it, comment down below if you would like to see more BTS videos from me, because I do actually have some ideas on BTS themed book videos. I just want to see if you guys would be interested in that or not. And yeah, just drop a like down there. Also, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. I do book videos. However, I do think that I'm going to do more BTS book videos. So if you think that's interesting, hit the subscribe button and you will see more from me in the future. So yeah, without further ado, this has been Moo. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!